Okay, 2013 Harley Road Glide. Starting to have some problems with the chaps rubbing through the clear coat, or rubbing, not through, but rubbing on the clear coat on both sides of the tank. And I know that I have a couple of friends, one with a 2013 Street Glide, same issue. One with a 2014 Street Glide, same issue. And hard to see, but starting to get some actual scratching almost. If you look at the O here, see if I can focus. More pronounced on the left side here because of the up and down movement of your chaps on the shifter. So hard to see, but there it is. There we go. I think you can see a little bit better right there. And just a general dulling of the area. So I've gotten some of the gloss motorcycle armor, fuel tank protection kit. Bought it from them online. So to start, I've done a couple things. Number one, I cleaned off the tank, and then in accordance with the instructions that came with the kit, I also washed my hands to remove any oil from them. I've also taken the bottle of motorcycle armor slip lubricant or concentrate and put it into a spray bottle, and then poured another 24 ounces of water in there with it. So this is good to go. Very important, according to them, to keep from having your fingerprints stick into the sticky side of the shield. Otherwise you'll have fingerprints underneath there. Okay, so last time I talked about the motorcycle armor, I had discussed that the patch only covered about this much of the tank, and that this part was still going to be chafed and rubbed by the chaps. So contacted the company, and they indicated that they actually make a longer one, and so they sent me some of those, and this is going to be the installation of the larger pieces that will cover from about here to here. So it will wrap all the way. It'll go to the same forward positioning of my current motorcycle armor, and all the way back here to the tip. So it's a bigger patch. Looks like it is bigger on the front end as well, so it's a lot wider here, so I'll get more wrap around here, and it'll go back further to the tip. So that's what I'll be installing today. Removing the old and putting on the new. I'm gonna have to get to peeling this off. This one will obviously be throwaway. That's amazing. There's no danger of that coming off at any point, or getting any dust underneath it. And then sure enough, there's my old rubs. You can see them, so it does a great job of concealing it. I'm going to follow the instructions for the installation and clean this up appropriately prior to installing the new one. Some rubbing alcohol and some pads. Got the glue areas off of there, or the residual. And then I cleaned it with Windex to remove all oil and residue. Make sure that the edge of my old patch didn't have anything that's going to show through when I put the larger patch on it. I wiped it down finally with the towel that they provide, so that to make sure that there's nothing, no lint on there. Lastly, I washed my hands to remove all the lint from them, and grease, and so I'll be ready to apply my patch. The key here is going to be trying to get it centered top to bottom, because it's a larger patch, and then I want to make sure that the back end ends up where I want it to be. This is going to be going pretty much across the L and the E on Harley there. Put it on in the same place that I had it before. back. Obviously here at the back end, this is going to pinch down a lot as it goes around this tight curve and rolls around. Probably going to be pretty difficult to get it smooth without any wrinkles, and so it was recommended that I have a mixture of 50-50 isopropyl alcohol and water. I have distilled water and alcohol in this cup here, so I can use at the back end here to help form it and shape it and get it to lay down. Using the slip compound, I'm going to go ahead and start wetting everything. I'll wet my hands again. Don't want any fingerprints getting in there. And then as I peel this off, I'm also going to be wetting behind it, so that nothing comes between the stickiness and the tank. And I'm going to wet this down again so that it'll slide around and I can position it. And just like before, it goes on really smooth, easy to move around until you start squeegeeing it. Got it where I want it here. Looks like it'll wrap around there without getting on any of the welded, rolled area back there. So I've got my squeegee, which I'm going to wet down. I'm going to wet the surface again. Don't want to leave any marks on there. And it moves around easy, so you really got to make sure you get it in the right spot here before you start securing it. Front part is anchored pretty well all the way up, that whole area there that I just hit, and then from here back is where I'm getting most of my bubbles. So I'm going to switch to the alcohol and water and the towel. Well, there's no doubt that I'm certainly going to have protection all the way to the back. And it is definitely a little bit more of a challenge back here at the back. To get that on there, you can see a little more distortion of the plastic. A couple little spots where I didn't get it perfect. But I will tell you, once you get that alcohol mixture on there, it goes. There is no stopping it. So you want to be very careful applying that the way I did it. Once it became obvious to me, was to lay the middle and then kind of work outward very slowly like this, you know, these ways, and try to work it towards the end like that. And continue just kind of working it. Maybe I can get that bubble out that way. Maybe not, because it is sealed down. And then one little wrinkle right here at the tip, where it's pinched up. It doesn't appear to want to lay down. But all these other ones are gone. Gone. And looking good. To be protected all the way to the end here, and have just a couple little areas that are noticeable mildly noticeable at that. I think it's going to be a good trade-off, and I'd be willing to bet I'll probably be a little better on the other side, with it being my second one. On that side, it's easy to lose sight of how high up on there you get it. You tend to put it up higher on that side because the tank is facing, is angled down to you, so you slap it right on there at what seems like the same level, and it ends up being a lot higher. So just dragging my fingers to the front here and looking at both sides. Up judge the fore and aft. Giving it a look here to see how I am on my height on this side of the tank here. And looks like I've about got it ready to ink. Okay, so once again, to look at it right here, it's virtually impossible to see. If I get the right angle on it here, you can see it coming around through here. But step away from it, just a couple more inches, and it's virtually invisible. Now, what it's going to be hard to see is where the back end, how it did. You might be able to start to see it right here in HD. A little bit of distortion areas in some spots in the plastic. Tiny bubble right here that doesn't want to go away. And another tiny one that's probably going to be next to impossible to see right there. So it's maybe even one up in here a little bit. So my first one was a little more difficult, that's for sure, to get it to wrap around there. That lesson learned is, like I said, that isopropyl is, with the water mixture, is like instant set. I mean, it makes it grab right now. So you want to make sure you're where you want to be before you do it. And this one here, again, maybe see it coming across here through the V. This one a little better. What you do end up seeing just a little bit is, because you're working that plastic pretty good to get it to stretch and take this contour, and you get a little bit of distortion. You can see in this light right here as I move back and forth just the rippley look in the plastic there a little bit, whereas over here nice and smooth. But you just kind of get those ripples in there. And that's because the plastic's just distorting to wrap itself around there so hard. No bubbles in this side to speak of. Works pretty good. Seat's going to be up here anyway. I'm not concerned about it. I think it's a great option. And I would recommend, if you have one of the big touring bikes and you're concerned about this, that you request the longer option. But my thanks go out to the Motorcycle Armor Company for allowing us to try out the larger version. I think I'm going to be happy with that one. And again, word of mouth is what makes these things great. I've been talking this stuff up. I think it should be standard equipment for most Harley dealers when you look at how these 2013s are wearing the clear coat, regardless of what type of chaps you're wearing.